Hey guys, welcome to the video. This video is going to be part one in a series that I'm going to put out over the next couple of weeks on budgeting. My goal with this series is that we will go all the way from figuring out your net income in this video to paying off your debt and eventually building your savings accounts. If you are ready to completely figure out your budget, I have a free budgeting checklist that I will link in the description down below. And that checklist will have every single step that we are going to go through in these videos, so you can keep track and build your budget right alongside me. This series has been a long time coming. I think it was over a year ago that I first mentioned wanting to do this series on the last pillar of a streamlined home. And I've been getting distracted and putting it off, I think because I get a little nervous about talking about budgeting. I don't know why. I don't get nervous about the other areas, the routines, the decluttering, and the meal planning, but budgeting can be a little bit more of a controversial topic, how people manage their money, and it can ruffle some feathers. But the good news is that I have put out several videos since I originally talked about doing this one that have already ruffled some feathers. So hopefully I'm already used to whatever is coming after putting out these videos. When I was talking with my husband about it, he said, why don't you just drop the budgeting and talk about the other three areas? But the reason that I wanted to do this series and the reason I wanted to keep budgeting as one of the pillars of a streamlined home is I think that having a budget and really being in charge of your money instead of the other way around can actually have the biggest impact on your stress level and determine whether or not you are able to take those 7 extra hours a week for yourself. Yes, having a decluttered home is nice, having your routines set and in place is amazing, and not having to think about what you want to make for dinner every night is awesome. But even if you have all of those three things in place and your budget isn't, you are going to have a level of stress and you're always going to be taking any time that you have to make more money and become more financially secure. Figuring out our budget and paying off our debt is the main reason that my husband and I are able to have me be a stay-at-home mom, which is something we both really wanted. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kassy and I make videos all about how to get you 7 extra hours a week for yourself. And if that sounds like something you would enjoy, please subscribe down below because I would love to see you on the next video. All right, let's get into the video. Now, this video, we are going to look at how to determine your net income, and maybe this is going back way too far and everyone is going to think this step is unnecessary. You already know how to do this, but I wanted to start at the very beginning since that's where Julie Andrews says to start and you don't argue with her. So if this video is too basic for you and you already know this step, that's okay. There will be another video out soon where we will dive into the expenses section and we will be looking at even how to decrease your expenses. In this series, I will be using the Money Mastery workbook. I have worksheets for everything that we are going to cover in this series. But if you don't have the workbook and you don't want the workbook, you can use any old notebook that will do just as well. But I do recommend getting a notebook that is just for budgeting. You don't want the information that you're going to put in this notebook to end up somewhere else if you accidentally write your shopping list on here and take it out of the house or something like that. You want this to be just a budgeting notebook. So I recommend getting a new one, opening a new one, and having it just set aside for this project. And then I also use a spreadsheet for my budget, and I do have a Money Mastery spreadsheet as well. It's a Google Sheet. I'm not going to go into setting up the Google Sheet today, and I think what I will do is just have an entire video during this series showing you how to set up the worksheet. But you can also use a regular Excel spreadsheet or create your own Google worksheet if you would like to do that. Now, if you aren't quite sure what net income is, it is also called take-home pay, and this is the money that actually hits your bank account every week or 2 weeks or however often you get paid, and it's not the amount of money that your employer tells you you make, because that amount is called your gross income, and that is what taxes get taken out of. So you never actually see the full amount, at least Most people don't. I guess there are some situations where you might, but you want to pretend that the full amount doesn't even exist because you are never going to see that amount in your bank account. Now, I like to use here the net income calculator. You can take your gross monthly income and you can subtract your taxes, and that will equal your net income. And you want to do this with every form of income that you have. So if you have two, if both you and your significant other work outside the home, you'll want to do that twice. Sometimes you may have multiple jobs. You'll want to do it as many times as you need to, and you want to get a total for your net income. Now, if you have a salary job, this step is pretty straightforward. Pretty much every single check is going to be the same when you are a salaried employee. But if you are hourly, you'll want to do an extra step here. You'll want to look at the previous month or two and find your lowest paid week or 2 weeks if you get paid every 2 weeks. Then you will want to do a little math. If it is the lowest week, look at the amount that hit your bank account that week and multiply it by 4. That is going to be your monthly net income. If it was a 2-week pay period, you'll want to just multiply that by 2, and that will be your monthly net income. Now, if you've never set up a budget before, you may be wondering why you need to know the monthly net income, but it will make a lot more sense when we get into the next video talking about the expenses. Most expenses, most rent or mortgages or garbage or electricity or water are based on a monthly expense cycle. So you'll want to know the monthly net income or the total amount that you have coming into your home so you can see if you have enough to cover your basic expenses or if you need to decrease your expenses or increase your income in one way or another. So to recap, what you want to do for this video is you want to figure out your net income for each area of income that you have. And I would also say you want this to be predictable net income. If you have a side job that you do every once in a while and you get paid for from time to time, I wouldn't include that in your monthly budget for now. We will get to a point where we will be putting that in the budget, but for your basic monthly net income, you want to just know the minimum that you actually have coming in every month. That way there aren't any surprises and you're never at a point where your expenses exceed your income. Now you may be thinking my expenses already exceed my income and I'm not sure what to do about that. I will have later in this series some ways to increase your income and decrease your expenses. So be sure to subscribe down below if you would like to see those videos. Then once you have your net income for each predictable amount of income that you have coming in, you want to total that up so you know the total amount coming into your household every month. So like I said at the beginning, a link to this workbook and also the spreadsheet will be in the description down below. And I'm also trying to figure out, guys, you let me know if this is something you would be interested in. I'm currently in the middle of my meal planning bootcamp and I'm having an absolute blast with it. I'm really enjoying getting to do the group coaching calls with you guys and meet you face to face. And I'm trying to figure out if a budgeting bootcamp would also be something you guys would be interested in. So let me know in the comments down below if that sounds like something that would be exciting for you guys and helpful to be able to troubleshoot with a live person instead of figuring this out by yourself. Or let me know in the comments if that sounds like a terrible idea. Either way, let me know. I would love to hear what you guys think. As always, I'm Kassy with makingtimeforgiggles.com, and I make videos all about decluttering, routines, meal planning, and budgeting. So if that sounds like something you would be into, be sure to subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next video.